leaders in Avon District 1170, the legend, as well as Avon 5483, the mighty 5483. It's me, Kelly Coleman, coming out to you this evening on what would normally be our regularly scheduled leadership webinar. But just in light of the fact that it's summertime and so many of you are busy with your family, speaking of family, there's my family, our new puppy Hank and my husband. But truly, so many of you are busy with your family. You have kids out of school, maybe taking a family vacation, working your job, really, just being busy in your life. I appreciate the fact that beyond Avon, you guys are out and about. And so I wanted to come across to you in a format that would involve more participation than maybe a webinar would, because it's so important that we keep the whole gang together and that we collectively be sure that we continue to recognize your successes, that we are looking ahead to upcoming campaigns and making sure that we have plans in place to have them be successful, that we are looking at our current campaigns and are aligned with incentives and programs. We're essentially keeping us all on the same page and looking at where we're at now versus where we need to be to continue to get better every single day, each of us individually in our own businesses, but also for the district's benefit and for our company's benefit. So with that said, I'm grateful to come out to you guys on this video. I will kind of give you a precursor. This is going to be about 30 minutes long. Our normal webinars are about an hour long. We have a lot to discuss. And I think that once we get this video under our belt, the future videos will be shorter, but nonetheless, want to get this one up and running so that, again, we're on the same page and we can move forward all being on the same page and getting better every day. So what I want to do is switch over to a PowerPoint, something that looks very similar to what we would use normally during a leadership webinar. So hang tight with me 1 second while I switch on over, and we're going to jump right in to our Campaign 15 leadership update. Alrighty, and we're back. So again, thanks for joining. I love having the gang together. I'll be honest, I'd prefer to have you live, whether that be a live webinar or really live face-to-face, but nonetheless live, having the whole gang together. But again, if this gathers more participation and views than what our webinar would, then I'm very happy because we have a lot going on. We have a lot happening in this business as we're collectively working to make Avon better every day. And I know that I have your partnership as we help you to grow. And like I said earlier, also help the district to grow, help Avon to grow, and be one team, one Avon, winning together. So let me just jump right in. I had the incredible opportunity last week to travel to Atlanta with a couple of you guys to meet Avon's new director of sales for North America, Margaret Grannon. It was one of my best Avon days recently, really for many, many reasons, but it was one of my best Avon days in a while because meeting Margaret and doing it with a couple of our key leaders in the business to get their perspective, it really just gave me some enormous hope for the future of our company, and essentially knowing that through Margaret's leadership, you all will be opened up to bigger and better opportunities for your earnings. Margaret has only been with Avon for about 3 months now, and it's very astounding what she has quickly learned about our business, what she is seeing with fresh eyes, what her newness as she comes into the business, what she really sees to be some of our opportunities, some of our issues, things that we know. It's just interesting to see through her eyes and her fresh perspective, and to hear her say that we have some work to do and some changes to be made, and it's all about making your representative experience more lucrative and more fun. And of all that, of course, as we know, that there are several things that she loves, that she would change. There's just a lot on her plate, but she's simplifying it all by giving us one priority. it's not just Margaret's priority, it's Avon US's priority. And as we trickle that down from Margaret to our regional sales leaders, to our division managers, to me, to you, it's really important that we're all on the same page, understanding our one priority, which is growing our representative count for our staff. We need to, simply put, grow our representative count. And even though that seems simplified, the reality is that when we grow our representative count, we will essentially grow every other indicator in our business. So this is a very important priority, and I love that this is how Margaret's simplifying the execution of our success. As a matter of fact, she calls it countdown to crossover, where we're crossing over to the future of our business, improving, increasing, getting better. Countdown to crossover. But here's what it looks like. There's, at this point, two pillars to countdown to crossover. Essentially, the goal is to cross over what our highest staff number is last year. We want to cross over that number by the end of this year in campaign 26. But it's not just looking that far ahead, it's starting now. As a matter of fact, she's asked us to what she calls bend the trend. And that's by the end of campaign 16 to hit a certain target. The target is to be +1 over where we were in campaign 11. So +1 over that by the end of 16. That's bending the trend. So it's kind of a multiple step approach so that it doesn't seem like such a big goal for us to reach. There's kind of a step by step. So let's look at it individually for each district, starting with 1170, where the bend the trend goal is for us to be at 396 by the end of campaign 16. This is a growth of 5 for us based on where we're currently at. So we need to grow by 5 in staff in campaign 16 to make our goal, our bend the trend goal. And then our crossover goal, our campaign 26 end of the year goal is 418, for which right now we would need to grow by 31 to make that number. So we're 31 away from that crossover campaign 26 number. So essentially, this means that we're going to need to grow on average 2 to 3 a campaign between campaign 16 to 26 to make that happen. But first, we've got to grow by campaign 5 and campaign 16. In 5483, the numbers are very, very similar, which is nice for our planning purposes. In campaign 16, 5483, the goal is 408 on staff. Right now, we're 6 away from that goal, so we need to grow by 6 in campaign 16. And then the goal for the end of the year, the crossover campaign 26 goal, is 438. And right now, we're 35 away from that goal. So that's meaning for us to have an approximate 3 per campaign on average growth between now and the end of the year. But first, again, the campaign 16 goal of +6. I am certainly happy that Margaret's just not saying, hey, here's your number for 26. Now go get it. You know, between now and 26, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of campaigns. It's a lot of months. And I would feel very, very overwhelmed to think that we would need to grow by 31 or 35. But the fact that we have this step-by-step goal and we only need to grow by 5 and 6 in one campaign to start and then continue to grow and celebrate our growth successes from there, that makes me know that it's so much more achievable and that step-by-step will make it happen. But here's the deal. I can't do this without you. We need all leaders on board to make this happen. All hands on deck. And I need you to solicit more new leaders, to rally the troops and find more new candidates or promoters on your team to help as well. The more new leaders bringing in additions and the more of you bringing in additions just equates to the additions numbers that we're going to need to make sure that we're bending the trend and crossing over. It's all hands on deck, and I can't do it without you. So with that said, what's your role in crossover? You know, Margaret's crossover priority is truly to help the U.S. business regain health. But that definitely trickles down to the region, to the division, to the district, but it starts with you. So what's your role? For starters, and really kind of to simplify, growing representative count, which is staff, you'll hear me say the word staff, growing your staff means, simply put, that you have more additions than you have removals in your unit, in your downline, every campaign. Additions are new representatives placing their first order. Okay, additions aren't you submitting a contract. When you put a contract in, that person, they're not really a representative. They're just a pending representative. They're not an actual staff member. They're not an actual an addition until they place their first order of any size. That's what an addition is. A removal is a representative who is at risk of becoming inactive either due to having a balance that's past due 3 campaigns or because they've been inactive or had no order for 5 consecutive campaigns. That's an addition. Those are removals. Now you know the specifics, which I know you already knew, but it's really important for us to granularly speak of these so that you understand on your team, on your unit, in all of your generations, how you grow staff. You grow staff by having more additions than you have removals every campaign. So how do you manage this? Well, for starters, we need more new appointments, right? That's pretty simple in and of itself. But in addition to manager removal, it's really going to be up to you, campaign in and campaign out, week in and week out, day in and day out, to pull up your downline manager and use your action items to assess your pending removals. Those of you who have most of your representatives in your respective district, this will be easy for you. Look at your main meal plan 4, meal plan 7, whatever that is. And as we go out of that meal plan, you then see who your new past due 3s are, who your new past due 2s are, who your new inactive 5 or 4 are, and you reach out to those people and you help them to get back on track. For those of you who have representatives all over the country in a variety of RPS mail plans, you need to be doing this every single solitary day. Bottom line, you want to grow your staff too, right? So as you want to grow your staff, of course, you're bringing in more new people, but you've got to manage those removals, and your downline manager is the perfect tool to help you to assess this and make it happen. And as you make it happen, what's in it for you? Again, I already mentioned this is a Margaret directive, right? But even though this is a national directive, there's a lot in it for you. Really, this is a fundamental element. This is a fundamental tactic of what leadership representatives should already be doing. Because as you grow your staff and you have more staff, you will in turn have more orders, which will mean you have more unit sales, and that equates to more earnings in your pocket. Don't you love that formula? It's that simple. More staff is more orders, is more unit sales, is more money in your pocket. The more representatives that you have on your staff will equate to greater sales and earnings opportunities. But in addition, it gives you more people to work with who are promoting the business. These promoters slash candidates mean more potential people on your team for you to partner with the title, and in turn, to help you grow your title as well. Essentially, your staff, each representative on your team, is the building block to all earnings opportunity from you, whether it's the earnings you make from the unit sales and that residual income, or if it means you helping them to grow their business, their downlines to title so that you increase your title. Bottom line, that's what's in it for you. But it doesn't stop there. Avon, as always, is supporting you with so many tools to really sweeten the pot in regards to what's in it for you. How about the opportunity, in addition to that awesome formula I just shared with you, how about the opportunity to double your sales leadership check? Because you can do just that in campaign 16 through 18. Because all unit leaders and above, when they hit an order goal plus a $100 or more order goal, you'll be able to double, yes, double what your sales leadership bonus check was. How it works is that Avon will match your sales leadership check, the one that you got for your campaign 16 performance, all right? And it's paid in campaign 17. That check, you're going to earn that doubled when the requirements of this incentive are met. The perfect example is this. If a representative's sales leader earnings check paid in 17, again from 16 performance to 300, and then you meet your goal, for what you have to hit in 16, 17, and 18, that 300 is then doubled to a total of 600. Several of you earned this last time we had the opportunity to double your sales leadership check, and I know it was a nice payday for you. I hope to see so many of you doing it again. Your specific goals for order count and the $100 plus order goal were emailed to you in June. I think it was like June 24th. So if you didn't see that email come across, be sure that you look for it. And if for whatever reason you can't find it, let me know so that I can share with you what your specific order goal is. Because everybody, unit leader and above, gets to play in this. And it doesn't stop there. As a matter of fact, more support to help you be incentivized to cross over includes a new and very rich mentor bonus. This mentor bonus started in campaign 14 and it runs through campaign 19, and it's for all unit leaders and above. Here's how it works. When you bring in a new qualified promoter, you're going to earn $50. Now, let's start thinking in the terms of advanced leadership. A promoter is essentially a candidate, but a promoter has two qualified people on their team, not just one. So if you mentor a new leadership representative in your first generation to recruit two new qualifying representatives, you earn $50. And what's so great about that is that your promoter, your candidate, they also get the product bundle and the Get Fit recruiting check. So they get paid, you'll receive the $50 mentor check, and there's no limit to how many promoters you can bring into the business and how much you can earn. But time is limited. This only lasts through campaign 19. So as you're supporting crossover, I want you to identify your next promoter. Who on your team is your next promoter? Get with them. Help them in turn identify their two new recruits. Help them get the recruits appointed and help them get the recruits qualified. They're going to earn and you get $50. Guys, this could be very lucrative. I mean, imagine if you brought in one new promoter every campaign. It's an extra $50 bonus above and beyond everything else that you're doing. And better yet, when you're a unit leader plus and below, as you're doing this, you're also going to have the opportunity to earn from the Get Fit recruiting bonus because we still have this very lucrative and fun incentive. Our Get Fit recruiting bonus has been happening since like campaign, 7 or so. It lasts for campaign 19. It's for all unit leader plus and below. Sorry, you AULs and above, you don't get to play. But essentially, when you bring in your first new person, you get a $125 valued product bundle. And then for every recruit that qualifies thereafter that you bring in, you receive a $35 bonus. For every one of them, again, no limit. So there's a lot of what's in it for you, right? Beyond the fact that when you grow staff, you're going to make more money by default, there's so many incentives to help you support crossover. So I need your support. And I need your support now, starting in campaign 16. I mentioned that our first threshold for crossover is in campaign 16. And now's the time to really start ramping up your staff because beyond the 3 incentives that I just mentioned, coming soon are 3 more incentives that might interest you. I'm just going to tease you with a little bit of information. There's more to come. But let me ask you, what would you do with $15,000? I could think of a lot personally, but here's the deal. Over 40 leaders nationwide by the end of this year are going to be awarded $15,000. And it's all going to be based on staff. It's all going to be about having as much staff on your team as possible. So put that in your pocket, right? Think about it, start a plan, make it happen, and $15,000 could be yours. In addition, how would you like one of those fancy schmancy iWatches? This is really high tech if you ask me, but I would certainly like to have one. Well, it could be yours, and an incentive coming very, very soon. And then last but not least, when we cross over, Margaret, our president, is chartering an Avon-only cruise. And the way for you to earn your spot plus to bring your significant other or somebody of your choice on that very cruise is by growing staff. So it's all aligned. It's all about our one priority, and that's count down the crossover, growing representative count, growing your staff base. I need your support. Margaret needs your support. But most importantly, your team needs it. And you deserve it. You deserve it. Let's say you don't make the 15,000. Let's say you don't get the watch of the cruise. Your team, your earnings are going to be in such a better place when you grow that staff. That's the bottom line. So I am just imploring you for your help. Like I mentioned, 1170 needs to grow by 5 in campaign 16. 5483 needs to grow by 6 in campaign 16. So I really implore you to get on to your downline manager tonight and look at who your pending removals are and tackle them. Call them, reach out to them, make it happen. And simultaneously, if you have people who are pending new, let's get them converted and let's get their first order in. And then let's bring in more new contracts now. All right. Speaking of bringing in more new contracts, a very, very quick look at the state of the business, because I think it's really important for us to know where we're at so that this crossover goal, it really will just kind of give you a better vision of why we're doing this. So let's start with 1170 and a district review. 1170 just filled out last night, so this is hot off the press. Our most recent update. It was a wonderful campaign for us. Um, I'm not going through everything here, but let me just say that we had an over $6,000 increase to plan. But in regards to what we're talking about, countdown the crossover, you can see that we had 12 additions and 8 removals. Remember, it's as simple as that. More additions than removals. And in this case, we had a growth of 5 because we only had 8 removals, so we had 5 additions. Okay, 8. Actually, I can't count the growth of 4. All right. So bottom line, we had growth. I will tell you this, 1170 before campaign 14, we had growth in 14 as well. But in campaigns 11, 12, and 13, we lost. It was bad. So it's nice to see some growth at 2 and 14, now a growth of 4 and 15. And I think that this is the trend. But again, we've got to get to that number of 398. We need to grow by 6, and I know that we're going to do it. 5483, we had a loss of 5. But it's opposite of 1170. Before campaign 15, we have seen grow. This district has been on a growth pattern. Unfortunately, we had higher removals than we normally do in 5483 in campaign 15. We had 12 removals, 7 additions. We were essentially on the rest of our plan beyond that, but this right now is all that matters because Margaret's saying there's one priority, and that's to grow staff. So as we look ahead to 16, most orders are going in on Monday. Before those orders go in over this weekend, I'm asking you, pull up your downline manager and see if you have anybody on your particular team in any of your generations who's either past due 3 or inactive 5. If you want to be proactive, by all means, get out there and let's be proactive and look at your past due 2 and inactive 4. But please look at your team and see what you can do to contribute to the staff growth by minimizing removals. And then pulling up your pending new and being sure that if you have a pending new that has not placed an order, that we get that order in campaign 16. So that's a really quick review of the state of the business for both districts. And I want to show you what I did really quickly here. When it comes to looking at your next promoter and taking advantage of that new mentor bonus of $50 and essentially just identifying your next candidate, I pulled in both districts. Here's 1170, here's 5483. I pulled in both districts all representatives who had at least, all new representatives, LOA 1 through 6, who had at least a $100 order. And look at this list. All right. If you were to pull your team in all generations, LOA 1 to 6, and look at those who had an order of $100 or more, you might be surprised to see how many people you have to work with. If you think about it, anybody who's got an order of 200 or more they are quote unquote qualified for leadership, right? A leadership representative needs personal sales of 200. So if they already are having $200 in personal sales, we should help them take the next step and identify their first team member, right? So I say all that to say, when you look at who you can work with on your team, are you really digging into your business? Are you really looking at everybody who's not in leadership to say, hey, are they qualified? What can I do to help them qualify? And as you can see from these two sides, there are a lot of people that we can be partnering with to get them starting with their team, making more money, you making more money, and helping us meet our countdown to crossover goals. So, with all that in mind, especially understanding our priorities and seeing the state of the business, I want to just reiterate, as you hang up from this video and as you start working your own countdown to crossover, I want you to first and foremost see who you can save. Let's save your staff or get them back. Who can you impact now? Every campaign, you can impact any of your representatives in all generations who are past you for 3 campaigns or inactive 5. Those are the ones you got to contact now because they are going to fall off if they don't pay their bill and place an order if they're past due, or just place an order to get back on track if they're inactive. But you know what? Don't stop there. Why not be proactive? You can look at your past due 2s or inactive 4s because the reality is if somebody's been past due for 2 campaigns, they're in trouble. They need your help. Or if somebody hasn't placed an order for 4 campaigns, they need books, right? They need to get back on track. So maybe be proactive as you first work the past due 3s and 5s, but then move forward to your past due 2s and active 4s. And beyond these two groups, pull your removals. Have you ever thought about pulling your removals report on your downline manager? When you do it, you can sort it by balance. And those people who've been removed but have a zero balance, let's get them reinstated because guess what? Reinstatements count towards our staff. And the more on our staff, the better, right? So as we get people reinstated, that will add to that overall increased staff number. So reach out to those representatives who have been removed that have a zero balance and say, hey, let's get you back on track. Let's get you some books. Let's get you back on track. And hey, when you do it now, your account will still be open by the time the holidays roll around, and you know you want to be selling during the holidays, right? Or at least shopping and getting a discount during the holidays. So these are the staff that you need to save or get back and that you can impact right away. All right. So many of you guys are already doing that. So many of you guys are already growing your staff and bringing new people aboard. And I want to wrap up this call by recognizing you. A little campaign 15 recognition. My fucking computer just froze. I knew I was going to go do that. Computer. I'm done. I'm not doing it again. The thing is I don't. Oh, it's my own fault. If I would have, this happened to my mom last week. They overnighted